Hey everybody, Steven here, and this is my follow-up to the 23andMe video I did. I finally got my report in, so I wanted to kind of cover what my results were. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know just exactly what I look like. For those that don't, I'm going to pop a video or a picture in real quick to just show you what I look like. It's probably going to be a horrible picture of me. But just based off that, I am, from my knowledge, I am Caucasian on my grandma's side, Hispanic and Native American, a little bit of Native American on my biological grandfather's side, and then so that's my mom is mixed, and then my father, who I don't know, is Middle Eastern, from what I've been told. Now, when you go to the website and you're here, one of the first things that you're going to see is ancestry composition. So I am 22.4% Middle Eastern. So we're going to click on this, and then it opens this up. It's going to take a minute to load. And then it tells you the breakdown. So I'm 40.8% European. That would be my grandma. 24.8% Middle Eastern and North African. That's going to come from my father's side. And then I'm assuming these other ones are most likely on my father's side also, where it's South Asian, East Asian, and Native American, Sub-Sahara Africa, and then unassigned is 9.9%. When I scroll down, it actually gives you a timeline, which is pretty freaking cool. So it's going to go back all the way to the 1720s. It's going to show, and it's showing here. So it says, like right here, Native American. You most likely had a fourth great-grandparent, fifth great-grandparent, sixth great-grandparent, or seventh great or greater grandparent who was 100% Native American. This person was likely born between 1720 and 1810. And then it shows you these right here as well. 100% North African. We have 100% East African. I don't know, Yakut. 100% Yakut. We have Italian. 100% Italian. And now it's weird because we're moving more towards what my grandma says I should say, which was Heinz 57, meaning I'm just a ton of different races. So slowly moving towards this. Iberian, West African, French and German, Middle Eastern. That makes sense. South Asian, I was actually surprised about with that. And then you go down here, and then this is actually just a more complete breakdown. European, and it'll show you the genes from that. Iberian, Italian. This was weird. Broadly Southern European, and then broadly Northern European. British, French, Middle Eastern there. But really, really cool. It actually highlights that for you. And then it tells you the percentage of it, right? So we have that. Where's the sign? Let's try the scientific details. And then this actually tells me how many people. So it says, we determine your ancestry composition by comparing your DNA to public and private reference data. And then it shows 23andMe public or customers, public data, total individuals, and then this is where it backtracked against that as well. You could download the raw data and look at a lot of this stuff for yourself, which I will do at some point, not right now. And then maternal haplogroup. So I'll just read the top part. You descend from a long line of women that can be traced back to Eastern Africa over 150,000 years ago. These are the women of your maternal life, and your maternal haplogroup sheds light on their story. And then it actually gives you the story of where they came from, where they actually migrated to, and where they went from, and all of that. And it gives a ton of information, and then how they actually know this. So very, very cool. Neanderthal ancestry. I have more Neanderthal variants than 58% of 23andMe customers. I have 283 variants. and I believe that's out of, I guess, 300 plus variants is the highest. 397 is the highest so far. So I'm above normal on this little scale that they give you. Very, very cool that they show the pictures and all that, and they have a good breakdown for you. And then it'll show variants found straight here like this, and then it'll show what I have. So I have one Neanderthal variant associated with my height. I have one Neanderthal variant associated with having less back hair. That's not true. A brief history of Neanderthals, and it goes over this. They have forums you can go to. You can take more surveys, which actually helps them with some of the data that they can help with just overall kind of the information that they have available for everybody based off questionnaires, as long as everybody's truthful with that. My haplogroup is RM420. So you descend from a long line of men that can be traced back to Eastern Africa over 275,000 years ago. These are the men of your paternal line, and your paternal haplogroup sheds light on their story. And then it talks about this right here, and it gives that information. This is where it actually talks about, I guess this would be the Southern Asian part that it talked about. 1 in 2,600 23andMe customers share your haplogroup assignment. So really, really cool information, how they found that out and all of that. And then I think I have your DNA family, and this will be the last one. So this is where it basically shows relatives that I might have who have taken the 23andMe test also, which that was really, really cool. I have one close family to second cousins right there, or this is the breakdown, sorry. So I don't have any yet, mine are distant, but close family to second cousins is going to be in the like orange, yellowish orange. Third and fourth cousins are going to be in the green, and then many fifth to distant cousins are going to be in the blue here, and then it shows the concentration of that, the ancestry relatives that I would have. This was cool. Compared to the average 23andMe customer, your DNA relatives are 58% less likely to be vegetarian, 50% less likely to feel jittery after drinking caffeine, 46% more likely to smell asparagus in their pee, 45% more likely to have hair that becomes frizzy in humid weather, 41% less likely to be able to do a back bend kickover, and it goes on and on and on. 10% less likely to exercise by strength training, and then it actually shows other tools that you can use, which I'm going to go over real quick, and then kind of close all of this out. Oops. So really cool information. I don't want to go super in depth with all this because I'd be bored to just cover the whole time. It does show what I'm the carrier of, so it shows all this stuff, right? Genetic health risk, what I'm at risk for. Parkinson's disease being one of those. Traits that I have, right, or that I'm the carrier of. Obviously, I don't have like red hair, for instance. And then wellness report. Alcohol flush reaction, caffeine consumption, deep sleep, genetic weight, lactose intolerance, muscle clump, all this stuff. Very, very good information. The problem being, you don't see any of it right here because you have to upgrade to this. So if I click on this, it is $125 to do that. I wish I would have known that at the time. We're actually saving up for that. I will probably do another video when we actually get that. My wife hasn't gotten her results back yet. I actually got mine in first, and we sent both of ours at the same time, which is interesting. So I'm going to eventually get that. It just is going to take a little bit of time to save up the money for that. And that's actually the stuff I'm super interested in about and in not only just the kind of the ancestry composition, but I do want to see all the wellness and all that other stuff. But this is so cool that they can do this. I'm definitely going to recommend it to anybody. Just be mindful of the fact that you have to pay extra for those other reports. I think some of them come all packaged in that are cheaper. I wish I would have done that had I known that I was going to get charged for the other stuff as well, but didn't do enough research beforehand, so that's on me. That's my fault. Overall, super cool. I'm going to recommend this to anybody that just wants to know more about their DNA, their genetics. Like I said, I'm going to do the follow-up report, and that's going to be more of the in-depth health information that's going to steer and kind of change my diet a little bit, most likely, depending on how I process saturated fats and all of that as well. So great information. I'm going to put a link so that anybody can order a kit if you want to order a kit. If you guys have any questions on the process or anything like that, or if you want to just talk and share your experience, I would love to hear from anybody else that's done the 23andMe test that has some cool insights into what's going on with the genetics here. And if anybody's actually done the where they actually download the report, the in-depth report, I've looked at it once. I don't know if it's in the scientific details, but it's just an insane list of the raw data. Here we go. It just shows a ton of just genetic stuff. Let's see if I can pull this up. So it tells you like the chromosome, the start point, all this other stuff. So you have this. It tells you the genes that you have. And it'll show you with some of it. Don't know if I can find it here. Don't know if it has it there. There's one I found where it actually showed you where was it? It was actually the raw data of the different genes that they found that would affect things like wellness and stuff like that, but you would then have to go do the research on it. I'm not going to sift through it right now to try and find that, but it is here. So if you guys want to order a kit, definitely recommend it. Just like I said, be mindful of the fact that you're going to have to pay extra if you want to essentially find out all the other information, carrier status, all this other stuff. It's going to be cool to actually backtrack and get that with my wife also and figure out some stuff, especially if you're trying to have kids and maybe you're both a carrier of something down here that might affect your child. So that's going to be interesting to see both of what we have when we actually get the upgrades on that as well. So I'll have the links in the show notes. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to follow along for the next upgrade that we do, where I'm going to go in depth with all this other stuff as well, hit the subscribe button. You can follow along on that journey. I don't know if we're going to do one with my wife. We'll most likely do one where it shows us comparing, or at least I'll talk about it and some of the cool stuff that we've seen with hers, because that's going to give us insight into what my son is also, which is very, very cool. So thank you guys so much for watching, and check back. It's probably going to be a couple months before I get the money saved up for that upgrade, but check back in a couple months and I'm going to have an updated video showing the other tests and what they were actually able to show me with the wellness reports and the traits and the carrier status and all of that as well. Thanks for watching, guys.